it gives us great pleasure to announce our leadership group for 2024 that was recently selected down at our Geelong camp. And our leadership program this year will be overseen by Jason Riles, who's rejoined us this year, so he'll be working with the 6 leaders during this season. Joining the leadership group for the first time will be Josh King and Tui Kamakamika, and as well as Ryan Pappenhausen, who returns back from last year's leadership group. But this morning's all about announcing our captaincy model for this season. We're returning back to a model we used in 2019-2020 when Cameron Smith was captain and supported by Dale Finucane and Jess Bromwich as vice-captains. So this year I'd like to announce our 2 vice-captains for 2024 will be Jerome Hughes and Cameron Munster, and it gives me special extra privilege to say that our 2024 Melbourne Storm captain is Harry Grant.
Yeah. Just open the questions, guys.
Well, Harry, does this come as a bit of a surprise to you?
Yeah, for sure. A bit of a surprise, but in saying that, it's surrounded by a really strong leadership group, and with Cam and Hughesy there, pass all the tough jobs off to them. But yeah, I think as a group, not too much changes. Just keep being the people we are and keep playing the way we want to play.
Frank mentioned about a former captain. Obviously, he was a hooker at the club as well. Like, do you? I guess following the footsteps of Cameron Smith, it must be something kind of special.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be in this position and be at this club and now get the opportunity to lead the club. And Smithy did it so well for a number of years, so very fortunate to have had a little bit of time learning off Cam and through the NRL and then into Origin. But in saying that, it's something to learn off, but also try and do it my own way and put a bit of a spin on it. And like I said, that's going to be a shared workload across all of our leadership group, and especially Jerome and Munster.
Do you seek advice from Christian, obviously still at the club, or do you go back to Smithy and talk to him about captaincy?
No, I've never really. You obviously speak to those guys about leadership that are in those positions, and we're pretty good at this club about trying to be better and wanting to learn, and I feel like that's a real strength for myself. But I've never, haven't captained the last few years, so it probably wasn't really a question that I've asked him. But yeah, it's definitely something I can dive into down the track.
When you reflect on your career, where does captaincy sit for you?
I'll tell you at the end of the year to see if we're successful or not. It's an honour. It's a privilege, and it's a special club to do it at. But like I said, it's not really going to change too much. With Jerome and Munster there alongside the leadership group, it's pretty shared workload, and you get to this position being who you are and playing the way you play. So it's about taking a bit more responsibility and ownership of that and going ahead with it. But it's an honour to be here, but I've got to do something with it.
Do you, what sort of captain are you? Do you talk a lot, or are you just more about actions?
No, I leave all the talking to Munster. But yeah, I sort of spoke to the boys. It might get things wrong at times and say the wrong thing or not have the answer, but hopefully I can lead with my actions, and those 2 boys will be the same, and that's hopefully the team we want to be this season.
Is it a player vote, or the coach sort of has the final say, or a bit of both, or how's that work? I'm not too sure, to be honest, but you have to ask Craig and the big wigs about that one. So Craig was the one though who came to you and said, "This is what I'm thinking for 2024."
He just spoke to me and asked a question if I felt comfortable and happy to go on with it, and ultimately left the decision in my hands. And as I said, we've got a pretty good support crew there with the leadership group, and being in the emerging leaders and the senior leadership group for a number of years now. So it's an exciting opportunity.
Do you know what he's got against backs at the
against backs.
Yeah, he's never made one a captain.
Maybe because he was one, and yeah,
So
maybe he just knows the forwards work a bit harder.
How's everything been going in terms of the pre-season? Yeah, I guess it's going to come around pretty quickly, round one.
Yeah, round one coming around real quick, and it's pretty exciting. We get to do it here at Amy Park, and no better opportunity to see where we're at against Penrith. But yeah, in saying that, we're pretty present and focused on where we can get better over the course of the pre-season, and I think the boys have done a real good job of that, and yeah, it's exciting times.
I guess, in your own words, how do you define the role as captain on and off the pitch?
Well, I spoke to my dad. He said I just got to shout more now I'm a skipper, so I might be asking Munster for a loan. I think it's, like I said, everyone's got their own way of doing it and put a little spin on it, but for me it's just about leading myself right, doing the right things for myself and making sure I play well and can lead with my actions, and you're obviously going to have a few things to say here and there and keep guys accountable, but you've got a pretty strong leadership group to lean on and help you do that, so yeah.
What do you see as your role off the pitch as well, in terms of not just being an ambassador for the club but also for Rugby League in Melbourne?
Yeah, well, it's huge, and we've seen some of the most recently Sewer light up the NRL, and he's a Victorian boy, and I think there's plenty more out there. So it's exciting with our pathways set up, and hopefully we can have a bit of an impact on those guys who are dreaming of getting to NRL level, and as a club we can just continue to help them and be a stepping stone for them to get here. But I think it's definitely growing down here, but like you said, we've got to have the right image and keep leading the way for those guys to want to be here.